Welcome to the HellBound Horror News. We've got a story for you tonight that is sure to give you a fright, and it revolves around one of these. In 2013, a videotape started floating around the eastern part of the United States. It was randomly found at conventions, on the streets, randomly placed on tables or in bathrooms. And on this VHS tape was a lost broadcast of a public access Halloween special that was originally aired in 1987. It was simply titled the WNUF Halloween Special. It was the whole broadcast, commercials and all. Some parts were slightly damaged and fast forwarded through, as this was just a copy of the taped broadcast. And that's not even the strange part. News reporter Frank Stewart, who did a call-in seance in a supposed haunted house live on camera on this very tape, went missing after the airing of this Halloween special.
What happened to Frank Stewart?
What horrors lie beyond this tape? Can the police use it to aid in their investigation? And what happened to reporter Frank Stewart? I guess the only way to find out is by watching it. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. The premise alone is intriguing. Is it some sort of snuff tape that got passed around? Maybe someone randomly bought it at a garage sale and noticed how strange it was. By watching this cassette, can you put the pieces together and figure out what happened to reporter Frank Stewart? And before we get too far, yeah, I know it's all fiction, but it's fun to play along, you know? It's fun to get lost in it. This really does feel like a lost 1987 broadcast, and the general vibe of it in the commercials feels so nostalgic, even though you've never actually seen them before. I won't lie, the idea and presentation are the best parts of the film. It's charming. There's no budget, and if you're looking for a compelling story and riveting conclusion, you're looking in the wrong place. This isn't much of a narrative, but instead, it's more about the experience. The WNUF Halloween Special is such a vibe. It's a fever dream that you had as a child. It's the quintessential Halloween movie, and it takes you back to being a kid watching TV near that Halloween season. Speaking of the commercials and that vibe, how did the movie come about? It had been a while since writer and director Chris LaMartina and his friends had made a horror movie, and they got the itch to do so around 2013. With no money, they decided to make a found footage horror movie since they were relatively easy to shoot and pretty cheap to make. With found footage, you can have a limited cast and crew and have a quick turnaround. They knew that the limitations of found footage movies was that they tended to become monotonous, and it's easy to bore and get tired of a limited cast. So they thought of a brilliant idea to have commercials built into their movie to try to break up that monotony. Chris asked a lot of small-time filmmakers to borrow some footage that they had shot in the 1980s to use in his next project, and J.R. Bookwalter, one of the best SOV horror directors, came through for him.
The night of the devil. Tonight, the vortex of hell opened.
Those trick-or-treaters were actually found in J.R. Bookwalter's film Kingdom of the Vampires, found in the SOV 6-pack. You know, the best Happy Meal for horror fans. Chris wanted to find a way to incorporate his hours and hours of stock footage that he had access to into his project. Well, he and his friends started writing these fake commercials. They wrote and recorded dozens of them, many of which didn't even make it in the final film. All in all, it cost Chris no more than $1,500 to make this movie, which is insane. It looks so good. To get that beautiful, authentic, aged look, they literally passed the footage that they shot through 3 different VHS transfers. Once the project was finished, Chris LaMartina dropped off VHS tapes randomly at conventions, in the streets, and on random tables. He was hoping someone would watch it and then ask about it online. He wanted to gain a little bit of a viral buzz. He wanted the community to question question the validity of it, and while that never really happened, once it was officially released, the WNUF Halloween Special eventually did find its audience and gained a bit of a cult following. Terror Vision released this beauty on Blu-ray, and it has like a ton of special features and is totally worth the purchase. In 2022, a sequel to WNUF was released, the Out There Halloween Mega Tape, and TerrorVision is releasing that sequel this October. So if you want to check out this amazing film and its sequel, buy them up and show Chris and the small boutique Blu-ray labels that low-budget, high-ambition films like this are worth buying. But it might already be sold out? Oops.
We'll sell you the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge.
Happy Halloween from WNUF TV.
Words cannot describe how much I adore the WNUF Halloween Special. This needs to be a Halloween staple for every horror fan. It's not a good movie, but it's quintessential Halloween nostalgia.
You're watching the WNUF Halloween Special.
If you're gonna watch any horror movie this Halloween season, it needs to be the WNUF Halloween Special. And that's all I have for tonight. So thank you all so much for watching, and stay spooky, everyone.